Welcome all. My name is John from OpenxAI. I'm Debrel. Welcome to the OpenxAI HackNode Australia Demo Day. Today we'll be running through all the hackathon projects that have made it through to the final round of HackNode Australia. It was a huge journey for them, starting in July, finishing September, to build an open source AI project using decentralized open source technology with OpenxAI. We have 7 projects that are joining the call today, and we also have 5 judges. We'll be introducing those people shortly, but looking forward to the 7 project teams presenting and answering Q&A from the judges and the community. So what we'll do is just quickly introduce the judges. So over to the first judge, Ashton, founder of OpenxAI.
Hey guys, thanks everyone. My name is Ashton. I'm the founder of OpenxAI. So it's a very exciting day today. Thank you for all builders, judges, and also the team behind making this happen. So it's very excited to see a great solutions and innovation came out of Sydney. So very excited to see all the builders and all the energy, the builders' energy coming out of Australia.
Okay, over to the next judge. We'll just get introductions. Thank you.
Hey everyone, this is Shashi, and I run this venture fund called Not Alone Ventures, and I have been also advising, working closely with OpenxAI team in adoption and strategic inputs. So happy to have you all here. I've been very closely seeing the journey of HackNode Australia and has been really excited about it.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for having me here. Ashton and the team, what a fantastic journey you've had in OpenxAI. We've been following your journey for quite some time now. It's fantastic to see how you developed your platform and how you're offering this opportunity to all of the students around. And congratulations to all of the hackathon finalists. looking forward to the presentation today. Oh, sorry, my name is Guru, should have said that. I'm the AI Enablement Manager at Protect right now, not with Macquarie anymore. My contract is finished. I've just started working with Protect here. Over to you, Pete.
Hi everyone, I'm Peter Zane, the Cloud and AI Lead for Education at Microsoft. I look after all the universities in Australia, New Zealand, and also expanding into APAC as well. But yeah, great to see the journey of OpenxAI. Congrats on the launch, and looking forward to hearing some of the contestants for the hackathon.
Thanks, Peter. So today will be, for the agenda, we've already met the judges, but we'll be running through all the demo presentations from the 7 teams. So in no particular order, Match and Match will be first, then Plan That, EcoTrace, Stranded, Advance, Meal Deals, and Debate Mate. So they're the final round of the Australia Hack Node. Then we'll be going to the judges to make their deliberation. There will be a small keynote from Ashton and a winner's announcement in the call today. So just a quick rundown of the actual prizes. So we've got quite a few good prizes for the winners. So there is a total prize pool of 5,000 with 2,500 going to the first place, 1,500, and then 1 for second and third. We also have an AI Innovators Award, which is an X-Node 1, which is a OpenxAI hardware that's being released, and that will go to the Top Innovator Award. So this is a hardware platform that OpenxAI is launching to be able to process workloads and develop AI apps from home and participate in the OpenxAI and OpenMesh network. And then finally, all participants of today's final round, whether they are winners or people that don't make the spot, they will also get free cloud hosting and be able to work with OpenxAI to get their products shipped and running on the OpenxAI app marketplace. So we'll be working closely with everyone here to make sure your apps are launched and online and in the marketplace, and helping you find monetization through a Web3 solution, and then also using AI inference or AI hardware for you to be able to launch. And we'll be working closely with all the teams here. We're really keen to see where you guys go. What we're looking for are projects that not just build something for one hackathon, but then continue on to build a startup that really does grow and start building lots of revenue for yourselves. So without further ado, we'll move on to the demo phase of the event today. So for the first team project, we'll be playing the presentation video for Match a Match.
Hi, my name is Romy.
Hi, my name is Fizzle.
And we all love matcha. So let me introduce you to Matcha Match.
If you've been on social media for the past year or two, you will know that matcha has completely taken the cafe scene by storm. There are so many posts out there about the best places to get matcha, different types of matcha drinks, and it's honestly a little bit overwhelming. Our solution, Matcha Match, is perfect for finding the best matcha spots near you that meet your exact expectations. Cafes are ranked algorithmically by reviews, location, and your own unique preferences, whether you like a traditional hand-whisked matcha or a sweeter strawberry matcha. If you leave your thoughts afterwards, you can help us give the best recommendations to others and connect with your friends to let them know what you're drinking. So why Matcha Match? Reason 1, matcha is viral and we have a huge target audience out there of avid matcha lovers. Reason 2, it's a lot quicker than searching places near you and then trying to figure out whether you're gonna like the matcha or whether you can even afford it. Reason 3, the experience is tailored to you, which makes it worthwhile for you to sign up yourself rather than getting recommendations from someone else. Reason 4, to keep up to date with what your friends are drinking and avoid the dreaded fear of missing out. especially considering we have a lot of responses from interested people already.
A user opens Matcha Match, the backend decides what to do based on what they interact with. If they open the chat, everything runs through our AI-powered recommendation flow. If they click top places near you, it goes straight to our places recommendation system. And we built all of this using Django, Django REST API, and Vite on the front end. And we decided to split the backend into two main apps, Places and AI Chat. The Places app is the part that talks to Google Maps, it pulls in cafe data, cleans it up, and then runs it through our custom scoring algorithm to actually figure out which spots match the user's vibe. As we scale, we'll start caching this data instead of actually fetching it every time. And if the Google Maps fails, the backend instantly falls back to mock data, so the user still sees results. The AI Chat app is a part powered by Olama locally. Every message the user sends goes through sentiment analysis, preference extraction, and location extraction. This lets the system know how the user is feeling, what type of cafe they prefer, and roughly where they want to go. Using all of this context, the backend generates both the AI's reply and the recommended cafes, so the conversation feels more personalized. And because everything is structured this way, this will let us grow into the actual social features that we're really excited about, like reviews, friend activity, or even a shared matcha feed.
Taking you through the front end of our Matcha app, you can see over here that it takes you to an interface where you have all the top rated places. And then at the bottom, it also tells you what features we have and how exactly it works. So we have sentiment analysis and an AI chat guide. You can click on the View All Matcha Spots button, and then you're able to see all the matcha cafes within your vicinity. You can also click the review button to add your own reviews after visiting the matcha cafe, and you can also see the reviews written by other people. As you can see here, here's the map, and then all the matcha cafes within your vicinity with a percentage match based on how well it matches your criteria. You can click on the matcha icon to go back to the homepage, and then you can also talk to our AI chatbot, asking it for places that match your specific criteria. So here we said that we want a peaceful place to study, and then our matcha guide will tell us where exactly we can go that best matches that criteria. You can also go onto our calendar. In our calendar, you can log how many places you've been, and then it also streaks it for you, so how often you've been having matcha. By clicking the favorites tab, you can see which cafes are the most favorited. You can also favorite your own matcha cafes as well.
So now that you know a little bit about where we're at, let me tell you what's next for our app. The next feature we hope to roll out is a scrollable image feed where users can share photos of their daily matcha and see what their friends are posting. Next, we want to introduce exclusive offers and partnerships with local cafes, rewarding our most loyal users with special deals. And finally, we want to enhance technical performance by caching cafe location data in our own database, reducing Google Maps API calls to save both time and cost. Finally, why OpenxAI? Because AI shouldn't be a black box. OpenxAI focuses on transparency, trust, and understanding, helping users see how and why AI makes decisions. By combining open source tools with explainable AI techniques, they make complex models accessible to everyone, from developers to decision makers to users, which is exactly the approach we want to reflect with AI usage in our own app.
Okay, great. Fantastic presentation, Matcha Match. Thank you so much for participating. And yeah, great. We'll be bringing the judges on now to ask their questions. And then we'll also have a community question as well.
Hey guys, I'll go first. Thank you very much for submitting the solution. It's really exciting to see. Just a question, like, that there are so many fake reviews online. So how do you differentiate, because your sentiment analysis predominantly come from the Google reviews. So how do you differentiate fake versus, let's say, like a legit reviews?
I can't hear you, Fizzo.
Can you hear me now? Yeah. So right now what we do is that we send an API request to Google Maps. So it's a very basic feature that we have right now. But to answer your question about, community vetting and etc., fake reviews, we want to make sure that our reviews are like just on Matcha Match. Like when we want to get rid of our dependency on Google Maps. So we want to move our reviews to Matcha Match. So there'll be like community vetting, profile vetting, and yeah. So we're trying to move away from Google Maps basically and make it so our platform is standalone and not dependent on that, if that makes sense.
Yep. Okay. Thank you.
Can I go next? Okay. This is a fantastic solution. I've been helping my teenage daughter hunt for matcha all over the city, and hopefully this will help me reduce my steps, help my knees a little bit. So it is a fantastic presentation too. Well done. By the first principles, I think what you're trying to do is catch a new trend and give the users an opportunity to find the trend as quickly as possible, or the businesses that provide that trend very quickly. What's your scalability in terms of different trends? Do you have an idea of how you're going to pivot to new trends, or how do you suggest you want to catch new trends that are coming up in the social media market?
So basically right now we decided to focus on matcha because we felt that it wasn't just a short-lived sort of hype trend. Like it's actually been present for like the past couple years, and although it's peaking in popularity now, we do feel that the popularity will last at least in the near future. And if we want to pivot to other trends, we could apply the same concept to different areas. So if potentially we felt the need to pivot to a different niche in the future, we could add like options for the users to like select what they're looking for. So like matcha, or like say coffee, for example, even though it's not a great example because it's not a trend. But yeah, I guess
I drink coffee, that's all right.
And just to also add to that, we found that from studying other startups and things like this, startups that focus on like one particular niche and one particular community do really, really well because they end up building that community aspect. And once you have those people using your platform, it's so much easier to like pivot to other things, like maybe other trends that are coming out, and you can just roll out new features. So yeah, we really want to focus on the matcha aspect of it to get our users, just draw our users in, basically, like Jayoshi was saying.
Okay, thank you.
I can go next. I have a quick question, two of them. One, tell us about your tech roadmap. After this, what do you want to do with your tech? What are the bottlenecks that you are facing that you want to fix? And second, tell us your business roadmap. Do you plan to monetize this? If yes, how? Or if you want to keep it open source, do you plan to target? I know the target customer is mostly 13 to probably 25, 30. But do you plan to go specifically focuses on campuses? Like what's your go-to-market here? So if you can share both the business roadmap and the tech roadmap along with bottlenecks, that will help us understand.
Yeah, so right now what we're doing is that we've just built a very basic model. So the chat uses Olama, and a few of the bottlenecks that we've had is that problems with Olama not being that accurate. So obviously fine-tuning that model is something that we want to do in the future, as well as like I said before, we're reducing our dependence on Google Maps. So we want to make sure that we cache all our data. So instead of fetching from Google Maps every single time, we build our own comprehensive database on what user preferences are, where they like to drink usually. Also, we'll be using more. Right now, the Olama chat that we have is very basic. It just looks for keywords for the personalization aspect, but we want to also fine tune that, make sure it's giving better preferences based on our user. Some other bottlenecks we've had, I think, that's the biggest bottleneck we have. We want to make sure we have a comprehensive database, and we also want to pivot to the cafe side as well. So not just using the user aspect of it, but also the cafe aspect. So we can reach out to cafes and ask them to, maybe a planned promotion kind of thing where their cafe gets promoted for a certain period of time, and yes, kind of a paid model kind of thing. And that's kind of where we're looking at the future. And once we build a community, once we build like a user base, we want to extend it to other trends as well. It would be good to maybe capitalize on iced lattes or something, or maybe even desserts or something like that. So just branching out is also something that we want to do in the future, and just streamline the kind of process we have right now with Ollama and the Google Maps API.
Okay, we'll keep moving on. We're running out of time, but Peter, have you got a question for Match?
No, that was great. I think it's covered all the questions already from Guru and Shashi. I think just looking at total addressable market as you look at this matcha trend to the others as well, it'd be great to also paint that out and looking to have that business model in place. Cool.
Okay, thanks, Peter. I think we might have one community question. Here it is. Community question, Match. How do you plan to keep the recommendations fresh and hyper-local as your user base grows across regions through the App Store?
I'll take this one
Not the
again.
word hyperlocal there.
Yeah, so hyperlocal, we want to move. We want to move our reviews to. We want to make a comprehensive database of the actual cafes. So, for example, another issue that we were thinking about is that extending our algorithmic range from not just matcha cafes, but cafes that sell matcha. So another thing that we were thinking of doing was, extending that kind of search range, keeping it very hyperlocal, and also just fine-tuning that kind of search that we have going right now. And I feel like with matcha is the user base is pretty global and it's pretty international. So yeah, we're going to try and keep the preferences very personalized with the Ollama chat, with a preference form that we have for users that are onboarding to our platform. I hope that explains it.
To add on to that, we also have our favorites tab. So as we increase across regions, users can log their favorite matcha cafes as their favorites, and then the most favorited cafes based on their region and the cafes that are close to them, it will pop up on their feed. So that extends to the different regions. Because say I'm in Dubai, for example, and there's this cafe that I really like, and then I favorite it, it's gonna show up on other users in Dubai their feed if they click on the favorites tab.
Yeah, just really emphasizing the social aspect, so you can see what other people are liking, what are they drinking on the calendar. You can see other people's calendar and just really growing the social aspect of it, growing our community.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Matcha. That was a great presentation. Thanks for going through the hot seat and answering all the questions and answers from the judges and the community. We're a bit over time, but we'll move on to Plan That. So get ready. We'll be playing the Plan That presentation. And thank you so much all.
The University of Sydney, and today I'm here to talk about Plan That. Today, planning a simple outing has become unexpectedly difficult. Groups struggle to find venues that match everyone's dietary preferences, accessibility requirements, and fits their vibe. Also, trying to align multiple schedules across busy lives turns into a logistical headache. And finally, people want to explore new places, but manually searching, filtering, and comparing options becomes tiring. Endless group chats and polls make planning more work than the actual event, and in the end, you're left with the same old choices. This is where Plan That comes in. Plan That is an innovative AI-powered social event and activity planning platform that revolutionizes how people discover, plan, and organize meetups with friends. By leveraging local AI models and real-time geospatial data, Plan That eliminates the overwhelming decision-making process that often prevents people from making plans. The Plan That app allows you to create events in 3 different ways. The first one is by using the city map. The city map displays a whole list of restaurants, bars, and other amenities in which you can create events and add to your calendar. In conjunction, you can make plans by using user inputs. To do that, you simply just enter in the location, number of people, meetup, any food, drink, or activity preferences, as well as that you can include a date and time, a price range, and any other sort of preferences. This gives you a list of 5 activities or events or places which you can go to, and you can create those events and add them to your calendar. You can invite the users, and as you can see in the calendar, it displays the events, it displays the participants, and it allows you to customize these events. In regards to utilizing user prompts, it's simple. You just simply enter in the location and the custom prompt you want to do. I put down cafes to have a nice breakfast in at Bondi, and as you can see here, it returns 5 different cafes in which I can generate more options, and then I'll get 10 results. I can also make events with these cafes, and it allows for simple use. In the backend, we generate the responses using AI prompting through APIs. In the backend, as you can see here, we have a role, a task, a context, a reasoning, and an output format, as well as a stop condition, in which we modify the results and output based on user inputs and values, as well as their own preferences, such as user food, user drinks, user nightlife, user nature, user arts. We turn this into a full prompt with a role, a task, context, reasoning, and then we pass it on to our root page. In the root page, this is where we call the backend for the AI API. It gives a simple system message in which is an AI fact-checking travel assistant with the responsibility to verify all information, as well as the user prompt, which is the enhanced prompt. To reduce the API from returning similar results or results that have already been set, we introduce a couple different things. The first thing we do is we increase top P to 0.9 as well as top K to 50. We have a repeat penalty and a non-predictive of 1000. In conjunction, in the prompt, we also have a list of all the places that have been mentioned before and a special condition in which we set to avoid these places so the AI doesn't recommend things twice. It allows for a more unique and personal user experience. In regards to future goals, there are a few key implementations that, when utilized, would lead to more accurate and personalized results. Integrating the Google Maps API for businesses and locations would increase accuracy of results in regards to addresses, opening hours, and allow for reviews and popular times to be displayed. In conjunction, results from the Google Maps API can be directly passed into the prompt, as the AI model can evaluate and pick the best result from the list. This reduces hallucinations by 90% as well as increases accuracy. Users should also be able to integrate their own calendar into the application, increasing personalization and usability. Finally, the use of having live activities such as weekly events or one-off events would increase user options. The Plan That application fits into OpenxAI's goals through 3 main themes: accessible AI, benefiting everyone, and decentralized vision. Any user can create an account for themselves where they're able to generate recommendations which are available for a wide audience. Plan That also allows for more personal interactions, as well as for the ability for users to experience more social and cultural opportunity. In regards to the backend, Plan That utilizes a Postgres database and a Llama model, allowing for reproducibility, accessibility, and illustrates how Plan That supports a decentralized vision. I'd love to continue to work on Plan That and turn it into a hub for social activities and events. Thank you for your time, and I hope you enjoyed listening.
Fantastic, Nathan. Thank you so much for that presentation. That was really awesome, very technical. I'm looking forward to the judges and community questions for you. I'll hand it over to the judges. Let's hear your questions. Thank you.
Yeah, I could go first.
Any judges with questions? Go for it, Peter.
Yeah, just looking at how you do, thinking about doing multiplayer in that sort of design as well. Because, yeah, it's going to be lots of iterations as people try to figure out where to go as well. Are you thinking of making that way?
So the whole entire collaboration between users essentially stems on sort of like an invite like sort of model. So essentially, once the user like initially the user has to like request a friendship and all sorts. Once they're friends, then they can actually start inviting each other to events. So once the event is planned, an invitation is sent via notifications, and also there's a special invitation slot up at the top bar of Plan That. And essentially the user or the person who's been invited can either accept or reject. If they accept or reject, it sends a notification to the individual who plans the event. And if they accept, on the calendar, it will show as the confirmed participant. If they reject, then it sends a notification that, oh, this person has rejected. And then in the calendar, it shows that they've not been invited and that they're not attending the event. So essentially, that's how I sort of handle multi participation.
Right, and they can probably propose alternative places as well, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Just a quick question on the solution centric. So Plan That is basically, from what I saw, is basically about how the groups are going to have a good experience, right? So does that then personalize what their preferences are? So even though it's a bigger group, say 20, 25 people, can you, with this solution, provide a more personalized solution for every individual in that group?
So essentially, the way we model it on the back end is sort of like with the prompt, it depends on how they do it. So if they intentionally put, like if it's like user inputs where they like everything's pre-put, like food, drinks, activities, etc., it's like usually like judges based on their inputs. But what we can do, or what I did, is especially with the user prompts, is as soon as a user signs up to Plan That or they create an account, they have to put in like a scale of 1 to 10 of how much they enjoy food, how much they enjoy shopping, how much they enjoy going to bars, how much they enjoy life. And these sort of like preference or this scale can then be directly put into the AI prompt. And then it's sort of like, okay, this group really enjoys like going on hikes or going on activities and all of that, compared to, let's just say, like going shopping. And the AI prompt or the AI is more likely to suggest activities that feel like going on hikes, more nature activities, rather than going on like shopping or something they enjoy less. So that's one thing we can do, like add for each participant, get their user preferences, and sort of like have a scale.
Okay, thank you.
I have a question. Like right now, the event space is primarily captured by Luna when it comes to planning specifically for this. People normally like to host it there. While I understand this is also for a very personal gathering and people want to do it, how do you plan to crack this? And second, do you also plan to like based on user preference, can it suggest like the prices and everything accordingly? And how do you see AI helping them, right? Pulling in everything that is required to organize a specific type of event to do that. If the question.
So in like regards to special type of event, what are you sort of like referring to? Like,
so say for example, somebody wants to organize a birthday party, somebody wants to organize a tech meetup. How does the AI differentiate between these two and helps them with a specific location suited with that kind of a thing, and also other logistics around it?
So in regards to
if you plan to include it in your thing.
So in regards to like different types of events, so actually in user inputs, there's a type of meetup sort of like category. And in that drop down list, there's friendly meetup, romantic date, get together, client meeting, family get together, and other. If the user selects other, they can put in any additional preference and sort of like plan that, like put in like, oh, this is for a wedding, this is for like XYZ. Also, there's a number of people, which has like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 plus. So the user can like allocate for how many people they sort of want to have in terms of groups. So imagine if you put 7 plus and then put other and then put in your like for additional preferences. Say, for example, you're planning like a birthday and you like put in like birthday for a group of 20 and then put in like your food, any drinks, any activities, any. It'll sort of like recommend more like suggestions based on that sort of input, rather than like 2-3 person get-togethers, for example.
And how does the data pulse in from, like, do you profile these based by feeding the data into your LLM about all these different like restaurants? If yes, then how do you get access to that data set? Like, okay, this venue has this much, this venue, because normally on Google it's very tough to find whether it is doing specific things or not. So how do you capture that?
So currently, right now, we sort of just use AI, the OpenStreetMaps API, the OpenStreetMaps and Overpass API, mainly because it's a public key, and I didn't feel really comfortable sharing private key on a public GitHub repository. But mainly, it's just judging based on that. I suppose what we could do when we migrate, or I eventually plan on migrating to a Google Maps API, is supposedly look at the busy times, look at the capacity of the particular restaurant, and also like sort of like see like, okay, it's really busy at this time, therefore it's less likely to achieve like a 10-person group. And also we can provide ways to contact the restaurant, so, or the place, so users can easily access and check with the venue whether it is possible to achieve this sort of group or these sort of numbers at this particular time. So that is one way to do it.
Okay, I think over to Ashton. We are running short on time, but yeah, if you can have a quick question, we'll move on to the community question as well.
I'm good. I'm good.
Okay, great. Here's the community question. So for Plan That, who do you see as your core market? Friends, groups, travel planners, meetup communities, or local event organizers?
So in terms of core market, there's actually a couple routes that we can go down, which is really like the benefit of Plan That. So for example, one thing I didn't consider initially but could turn out really well is sort of people with like dietary requirements. For example, those who are gluten-free, who are lactose intolerant. Those people can easily find more easier recommendations based on the AI application. And it's much easier than going online, going to Google, searching gluten-free sort of cafes, and then scrolling through the menu. I've tried that before. It is really time-consuming. Another sort of core activity we can have, like as I mentioned before, travel planners. This not only allows for searching in Sydney, but also allows for searching in multiple different places, such as London. I've tested in London, Tokyo, San Francisco, and it allows all sorts of different places. So that is another sort of thing. Also, in terms of local events organizers, we are also planning to accommodate them. So, for example, stuff like more local events, such as weekly sort of like farmers markets, or even one-off like club nights or festival events. We're planning on adding that. But in terms of like a core market, I would say it's sort of like people who want to go out, experience stuff with friends. So there is no real restriction. Like it is pretty much built for everyone, sort of thing.
Okay, thanks, Nathan. Fantastic presentation. Wishing you luck with Plan That. So thank you very much for your time. We'll move on to the next project. That's Tanisha from EcoTrace. So she'll be running the presentation here. And yeah, looking forward to this and the judges' questions and community questions. Thanks.
Today I'll give a walkthrough of EcoTrace, what it is, the problem it solves, a demo, a quick tour of the backend, and my roadmap for it. EcoTrace is an AI-powered environmental impact inspector for everyday products. It produces a 1 to 100 scale eco score, a breakdown of 4 to 6 impact factors, confidence levels, and actionable recommendations. The problem I solve with it is simple. Sustainability data is fragmented or unavailable at the point of decision. EcoTrace gives fast, evidence-based guidance so people can make better choices. Now for a quick live demo. On the Analyze tab, I can type a product name or paste a URL. The UI sends the request and displays an eco score and factor breakdown in the result card. You can also scan or enter barcodes. For decisions that require comparing products, use the comparison view to add up to 3 items and see side-by-side factors and charts. Finally, the history page shows my saved analysis and the eco-journey analytics if I am an authenticated user. Next, the backend and how it works. The API endpoint analyze product routes requests to product analyzer. The analyzer enhances product info through web search, calls the local OLAMA model via the analyze environmental impact function in OLAMA service, and converts the AI JSON into the product analysis model using create analysis from AI response. If OLAMA fails to provide JSON, the service uses a safe fallback implemented in OLAMA service. Authenticated users analysis are auto-saved by data history service. My future goals for EcoTrace are to improve model grounding with verified LCS sources, integrate supply chain datasets and richer barcode data, build a mobile native offline scanner, and add collaborative accounts and sharing. Thank you for watching. I welcome your feedback and questions now.
Thank you, Tanisha. That was a great presentation. We'll now hand over to the judges for their questions and answers, and then a community question.
That was an awesome solution as well, Tanisha. Love that. Yeah, looking to see how you can promote this more, because I think it's a great idea to get people to start comparing products and looking at their scores against each other, environmental impact. Do you have any ideas around how they can get this out into the market and distribution
Right.
and social?
The first step would always, of course, be hosting it on the App Store and just promote it on social media.
I have a question. Tanisha, thank you for that presentation. I think it's a great solution for not just for users, I think it's for B2B IC solution as well. My question, it's probably quite fundamental. Any solution, whether it's AI powered or non-AI powered. So it's a garbage in and garbage out kind of a, like there's a problem. How do you address that problem?
Just to clarify this, you mean like fake and wrong information, wrong data?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So first would be to integrate verified sources that already have the information, and to make sure that the AI uses those sources. And another thing would be to make the AI cite the sources in quotes it uses, so we can verify them.
Ideally, if you want to extend your solution a little bit further, implementing some sort of an AI to actually verify the data. It could be an agent, or it could be some sort of a verification method, because otherwise, if you ingest the wrong data, user get the wrong data back. So it's a garbage in, garbage out situation.
I have a comment and then I'll ask my question. My comment is the solution's fantastic, Tanisha. It's a very impactful one, and I think there's a lot of potential to it. and I had a few different questions I wrote down, but then with your roadmap with 2 sentences, you pretty much smashed through all of my questions. I'm not going to ask any of those. But the only question I was going to ask is, well, the other comment I had was decentralized system is probably a really good solution, a really good platform to orchestrate this kind of a solution. Followed up with the question, how do you plan to monetize the solution? Or are you planning to monetize the solution?
I was thinking until there's a good, decent user base, I would keep it open source. And then to monetize it, it would be through ads and donations, and partnerships.
So on that monetization front, I have a comment. You can actually charge, as Ashton said, it can be a B2B thing, right? Where you can actually tell people, companies will be happy to pay you to review their product and do it properly. They can also give you access to data once you have good user base. My question is, how do you avoid greenwashing? Say, for example, a company like Zara says that this is an eco-friendly cloth and this is a green cloth, but if you see at the bottom of it, the term is very famous, greenwashing, right? So as this adds up to Aston's thing, right? The biggest challenge you will have is data sets to get which is green and what is not, and also like ratings appliances. I think 5-6 years back, I saw a product where using barcode. Of course, they were not using AI, but they were tapping into like 5-star ratings of appliances and trying to see which building is more sustainable versus not. So something similar. So this can be an important thing. So how do you see yourself getting access to data? Because that's where quality data, that's where it is going to be a huge issue for you. So how do you see that? And it's okay if you right now don't know.
So yeah, as I mentioned to Ashwin's question, the first thing would be limiting it to verified sources, and perhaps as Ashton suggested, we could make an AI to make sure the sources are verified and correct, and again, an external auditor.
Okay. So one thing that you can also do is there's a lot of YouTube, really good people on YouTube who really reviews the product, tests them, and put it out there for food, for different types of things. So see if there is a way your model can look into these YouTube videos, extract data from it, verified, of course, and do it. That can be another one of way of getting, because in this space actually the data arbitrages and the data transparency is a huge issue. Even verified sources get paid up and they don't show up good data. So that's where it is. But the product is really good, and I think there is a need for people to use this.
Okay, thank you so much for the questions. We've got a community question. I'll just check here. Here it is, EcoTrace. What industries do you think will benefit most, like retail, supply chain audit, personal sustainability tracking, or any others?
Okay, so I built this for personal use mainly, but of course businesses can also use it, especially when you buy in bulk.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Tanisha, and great to see the EcoTrace project in the hackathon, and I wish you good luck. And now we'll be moving on to Michelle from Stranded. So we'll be running through the Stranded presentation. Let's play that. Thank you.
Michelle, and today I'll be presenting Stranded, an AI-powered choose-your-own-adventure game with the premise being that you are stuck on an island. This is part of my submission for the OpenxAI HackNode Hackathon. Choose-your-own-adventure games have been around a long time, and are a type of gamebook with the reader as a protagonist and the choices they make determine the outcome of the story. They enable the development of decision-making skills, encourage critical thinking, and give readers the opportunity to determine their own fate. However, people aren't picking up choose-your-own-adventure books anymore, This is due to things like declining reading rates, the lack of replayability in the original model, people don't have access, don't understand the appeal, or consider it less exciting than other things out there, such as online games. The purpose of Stranded is to overcome these problems, and to showcase choose-your-own-adventure games in a new, modern, AI-powered twist. The purpose being to enable creativity, create community, and enhance adventure. So, how does it work? Well, Stranded is text-based, and users can choose to do or say something whenever points of choice arise. The AI prompts are structured in a way that there are 5 milestones that the user can reach, and this was done for narrative purposes and to ensure that the story is linear. However, the way that the users reach those milestones changes with each game, as the AI story adapts its answers to how the user interacts with it. So I'll just begin by swiping across in order to show you how things play out. So as you can see here, there's just like a welcome message detailing what players can do. So as I mentioned before, players can choose to do or say something throughout the story, and then obviously the AI is the one that's kind of narrating the story and progressing it forward based on what the user chooses to do or say. So as you can see here, I have a text box that can directly allow users to enter something, send, reset, and then choose to either do or say. So I'll begin by typing anything into the text box. As you can see here, like even in the first prompt, the AI is setting the scene. It's obviously obvious that it's set on a stranded island. And obviously like the user directs their own story because even though like right now the theme is pretty like tense, I could say something silly like, or do something silly like beat my chest like a gorilla. And of course, the AI will kind of tune the environment and the way the story progresses around that. So I crafted the game by creating 5 milestones that the AI has to follow. I believe for this one, it's like waking up lost and confused on an island, and then searching and like for resources and surviving. And then it goes into finding evidence of another person, having an interaction with this person, and then this interaction determines the ending. So each kind of milestone is reached in about 1 to 2 prompts. So this ensures that the pacing is there, so it's like interesting for users and the progression of the story, while simultaneously allowing freedom in how these milestones are reached. So what the user does and then how the AI interprets that will determine how the story plays out. So each play of the game is different. In the future, I would hope to develop this platform further to allow users to create their own choose-your-own-adventure game by utilizing the story points method as I did in Stranded. For example, creating a platform where users can create their own story points and share these stories with other people. I see this as having great potential to create communities from stories users have created and shared with one another. Thank you so much for your time.
Thanks, Michelle from Stranded. That was a great presentation. I can really see that scaling up into mini apps across many mobile phones as a fun game to play. So let's hand over to the judges for their questions.
I can go. First of all, recently we got a deal for investment. It was a similar idea. They were asking for $1 million or $20 million valuation. But this, why people were ready to, they were able to raise some money is because they were focusing on children, but the target audience were parents. So where you actually, how do you put your children to bed? What type of stories you do? And of course, they added a little bit around like things that you can do. The angle was better parenting and whatnot. But I see this similar, so good product. Do you see a specific target audience for this? And how do you plan to monetize this?
Yeah, thank you for your question. So I do believe there is a huge community of people who enjoy storytelling games. For example, Dungeons and Dragons is a very popular one, or people who grew up on like classic choose your own adventure games, who could be like a potential user base for this. I think this could also extend to AI curious users. I feel like there are a lot of people out there who love AI enough to just try out new things that are coming out in that space, or potentially also writers and creatives who would be interested in like experimenting with storytelling in this like new way and like with like this new emerging technology. So like I would monetize this. I feel like this has like great potential to be monetized in various ways. For example, using like a freemium model where like basic features are free, but more advanced features are able to be bought, or via like an ad revenue model. So which would like work as users would actually be like spending time on the app. And I feel like the go-to market strategy would be first to like launch with a more focused group. So people who already do love like interactive storytelling, like fiction fans or people who enjoy similar mobile games, for example, Episode. And then I would use like various distribution channels like TikTok and Instagram Reels, Reddit forums as well to kind of gauge public interest. And then maybe this would allow us to like really specify who the target group is, and then kind of distribute it like that.
I thought I'll go next if that's okay. I thought the solution's very unique in its own space. It was a bit of an impromptu plus self-regulated behavioral modification, if I can put it that way. One of the use cases I was thinking of for myself, if I'm the user, for example, would be induced by, say, if I tell the model that I want to learn something new, a new language, and this is my core language, and I know bits and pieces of this other language, then it can actually take me through this game storytelling to teach me a new language on an adventure journey. And if I say I want to travel to, say, Japan next year, it can actually build a realistic sort of a tour for me so I can experience it digitally before I go there next year and what to expect. So, a brilliant idea. You've done really, really well. Not much of a question, just a comment. Thank you. Well done.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, I'd love to see how you could also jump on, things like what Sora and the teams are doing with video and be able to create IP. So connecting in and be able to monetize that and bringing in like characters that are well known out there in media as well, and be able to get that sort of business model going too.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like this definitely has great potential to give like people like the creative freedom, even if they don't have like those skills to actually be able to like sit down and write out a whole universe. Like we can't all be J.K. Rowling and like create like this wonderful place, whereas we can like utilize these tools to kind of benefit ourselves both like creatively, and also like as you were saying, in terms of like lifestyle, like learning a new language or traveling abroad.
Okay, Ashton, you got a question?
Just a feedback, I would say. I think it's a great solution where society is, going in a very different direction. Having these kind of solutions is a great initiatives. I would say maybe for those who are maybe visual, now we have AI can create like a really wonderful like graphics and images. Maybe instead of using words, maybe you can use sort of a powerful image generation. So that gives a user a really good, I would say, like an inspiration for a purpose or a cause. Because sometimes images can represent maybe thousands of words. So I think like having these AI capabilities, like image generation in the last 2 years in AI capabilities have probably progressed significantly. If you can use image generation just to give a message or tell a story, along with text, I think that will be a really powerful solution for the end user, and end user will probably enjoy. For me specifically, I'm a visual person. I would really enjoy having text and imaginative images. So I think it's a great way to showcase whatever your journey going to look like, because it's going to be personalized as well, I'm hoping.
Yeah, I would definitely be really interested in doing that. I think especially like if it's like following the milestone logic, I feel like AI can kind of like pre-generate an image that corresponds to the milestone that like the user wants to reach. And I think, yeah, I feel like that's a really good idea, and I would definitely be interested in implementing that.
Cool.
Great. I think we have our community question. So how do you see decentralized AI enabling offline gameplay or user-owned story data?
Well, I believe that like in platforms such as this, users would be able to kind of like create these like games, play them, and then maybe like save the text offline, and then be able to like share that across like other like platforms. Like for example, like if I develop this like further and like create a platform where people can like create their own stories, then perhaps people can post these stories and then others can like download them, like the same way that people use like Wattpad or like online books and like download them in like a visual like Word format or like an audio one. So I feel like that would be able to allow for like offline gameplay, as people can kind of like interact with other people's stories and kind of see like the endings that they had. With user-owned story data, perhaps like being able to monetize it, as I mentioned like previously with like the freemium model, maybe having like premium creators or like creators who have like public pages and then have like more close to heart stories on like a private page that is like behind a paywall. So something like that in that sense. Does that answer the question, hopefully?
Yeah, that's fantastic. Thanks, Michelle. That was wonderful to see Stranded, and looking forward to seeing how it goes in the hackathon. Thank you so much for presenting today. Okay, now we'll move on to the next project. So we have Advance, we have Gathika and Liam. Welcome. And we'll be playing your presentation and then asking some questions from the judges and the community.
We're going to
Thank you so much.
an AI-powered discussion forum using AI in education the right way. Every student knows the frustration of posting on a class discussion forum. Important questions get lost under endless questions like, what's the word count? Or when is this due? Teachers get overwhelmed and students wait days for answers. Learning slows down. Discussion forums are essential. They allow students to collaborate, questions to be clarified, and they form a learning community. However, in practice, they're too flawed to be effective.
I'm Geethika, and Liam and I are university students at Sydney, and we've experienced this problem firsthand across our backgrounds in commerce and engineering, and we want to do something about it. Over 90% of our peers agree. University admin information is too scattered amongst different sources and extremely difficult to find, and professors struggle to answer these questions in time. With these issues, students are increasingly turning towards AI to get their answers, so we've decided to leverage this by building AI directly into the discussion forum, getting the best of both worlds, and most importantly, professors, who we believe to be the most valuable source of information, aren't cut out of the education process. Advance uses AI to answer repetitive questions instantly and accurately by drawing exclusively upon past conversations and course resources uploaded by the professor themselves.
In our app, the questions are first screened by an AI LLM before they are posted. The AI interprets the question and searches its knowledge database of previous discussions and resources uploaded by the professor. If it can confidently reply, it will, referencing where it found the info, and if the student is satisfied, the conversation ends there and the question isn't posted. Now, if the AI can't form an answer, meaning the question is new and unique, the question is posted to the forum. Here, students and instructors alike can see them and collaborate to answer. Let me show you how it works in action. Students log in and are assigned to classes by their instructors and can see the discussion for that class. Teachers can upload resources into the class to form part of the AI's knowledge base. Let's ask a question. What's the assignment word count? The AI instantly replies, drawing upon the assignment information uploaded previously by the professor. We can even check its sources to be confident, and being happy with that info, there's no need to post this question to the forum. Let's try another question, something unique this time. Since the AI won't answer beyond its strict knowledge base, it will instead allow the question to be posted to the forum for real engagement. And if a similar question gets asked later on, the AI can now answer off of the conversation it had between the students and teachers, and refer them back to the original discussion.
Geethika will now dive into the back end.
Inside the class dashboard, teachers use the document uploader component, which calls the Upload Documents API. That route checks the teacher's permissions, saves the file into the Uploads folder, extracts the text, and stores both the file's metadata and the extracted text in the Documents table using Docker. Answers posted through the Answers API and questions created via the Questions API are also pushed into the database, so every interaction automatically enriches the knowledge base. When a student hits Ask AI First, the front end calls the AI Pre-filter API. That handler pulls the relevant documents and parse Q&A from PostgreSQL, runs a semantic similarity parse, and then feeds the best matches into the local open source Ollama model. The pre-filter route extracts deterministic facts, or, when needed, sends a carefully crafted prompt to Ollama.
We are targeting universities as our first customers of Advance, focusing both on campuses that do not have a dedicated discussion forum yet, and those currently stuck with these outdated legacy tools. By offering a smarter AI-powered forum that actually helps students learn faster and engage more, we can capture the untapped market and win over existing users who are ready to switch to something better. Our business model would be to license it out to universities who pay a subscription based on the number of students who access it per term. Then, students can access the platform for free under the subscription. Furthermore, we see Advance as being a highly scalable product. After targeting the university market, we see schools as the next ideal candidate. The platform would be essentially the same, and with the number of schools worldwide, the market is endless. Then, the education sector is just the beginning. Using the same principles, our platform can be expanded to corporate environments, allowing for questions during onboarding or early careers to be answered without constantly bugging your manager, and democratizing the knowledge of other employees that have gained from asking questions.
With Advance, we aim to decrease the friction in the learning process while also encouraging human discussion and collaboration. Thanks for watching, and a special thank you to OpenxAI for the opportunity to make Advance.
Wow, thank you so much. That was a great presentation from Advance. Thanks, Geethika, Liam. So we'll hand over to the judges and community questions.
First of all, very well-structured presentation. Well done. It's really good. You showcase your problem, talked about your solution, talked about the journey, and also to showcase the back-end process. Really good. My question come down to, like, AI, you have to explain the situation in order for you to get a good answer. So how do you actually embed like the situational awareness to the AI? Because discussions are great, right? So since the beginning of internet, discussions and like forums has been a really important part of the internet culture. However, sometimes what I see with AI solutions, AI may not understand the personal situations when you ask questions. So how do you get that insight? So the questions asked by the user, then the AI is actually providing the relevant information.
Thanks, Ashton, for that. And to answer your question, what we've done is we've made sure that each class's, I guess, context is specific to that class. So as we mentioned in the video, the AI is strictly calling upon either past conversations in that class or resources that have been uploaded by like the professor or TAs. So that already, I guess, gives it a bit of context. But to make sure it's, I guess, hitting the personalization of maybe the university's context or the class, maybe we could look at adding documents such as like keywords or I guess things that might be specific to a uni so that the AI is able to pick up on that and it's more natural rather than it trying to guess what someone's talking about.
Yeah,
I think
oh, sorry.
I want to comment on that. So from a user point of view, the question predominantly when a user trying to interact with your knowledge graph and the AI bot, how the AI knows what kind of questions are being asked by the user and the context of the user.
So one of the things that we've done is we've sort of played around with the model and the prompting that we give it, so that it's not just looking for like a keyword match. It's looking to interpret what's being asked. So we've given it a bunch of classic examples, which is like talking about assignments and the things that people might be asking about, such as word counts, deadlines, and whatever. Or if it's more general about the unit as well, we've looked at different contexts and we've given some classifications. So we've pre-trained it, I guess you can say, to work out, okay, this question is asking about this, and it sort of knows the best way to go about answering it. And I guess as we continue to grow this product, we can find the different sort of avenues that people are going to be asking questions to sort of help it classify question types, and sort of go like that.
Go ahead, Geetika.
Yeah, so basically what Liam said as well. And another thing is that like the more people who use it, the more information we'll sort of have to be able to base off like how we develop the product and I guess sort of like what context we give to the product. And a lot of students that we spoke to, the number one thing that they said they wanted from the product was accuracy and verified answers. And so that's why we've sort of added in the function where you can, whenever it gives you an answer, it also redirects you to where it's gotten the answer from or whatever source that it's basing the answer off. So then you can also check that yourself and make sure that everything's verified.
And so if I might add one small point, we have a feature where if the AI presents an answer and it's wrong or maybe going down the wrong direction, you can reply to it and basically say, hey, this is actually what I was looking for. And then that answer is going to go back into the prompting and it's going to help improve the model in the future. Either we can do that manually or it also goes back into its prompts that it uses.
Now, that was a great presentation. I love the thinking that you put to it as well. So I've been working with the University of Sydney and Professor Danny Liu on Cogniti. So it's like a solution I think you guys might have tested already at the university. Yeah, we'd love to have him, you guys collaborate with him on this sort of, the forums piece, because I think he's looking for more features to add to that. And I think his go-to-market is very similar to yours as well. It's sort of looking at universities and schools and then on corporate as well. Have you had a chat with that team just yet?
No, I don't think we have actually, but that sounds really interesting.
Yeah, I think that integration with Canvas with the university is sort of like ingesting that information already. And yeah, if we could add additional forum boards onto that, I think that'd be a really great feature set.
Thanks for bringing that to our attention.
Fantastic presentation. I think you put in a lot of thought and effort into it, and you're trying to solve a real life problem that you guys probably are facing right now. So you're sort of the user, first case user for it. I come from Macquarie University, and we've tried to implement similar solutions there. And some of the problems we've faced there, and I'll just throw that at you, and I would love to hear from you, is one is content dilution. So when you say it's learning from all the chat history, the students are asking questions, and often the students ask questions without a question mark at the end of it, because that's how we chat on SMS and text, right? So the model started interpreting as if that was a correct information. How do you quantify and qualify the data? Ash told this earlier as well, rubbish data in, rubbish data out, rubbish response out. So if you're going to dilute the model with the conversation that comes from students, how are you going to qualify and quantify it?
So the way our model sort of works is that the only sort of information that it takes and takes it as like a fact is something that's submitted by the professor or a question that's been answered by the professor. So anything that students really say doesn't really get stored as information, it just gets stored as a question. And so the only reason that you would be sort of directed to a student's conversation is if you've asked a similar question, just so we don't want the forum kind of clogging up with the same question. We want them to all be in the same sort of discussion, but nothing that a student says really gets processed in that way, if that answers your question.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Perfect. Thank you.
Okay, I think that's all the judged questions. Let's move to the community question for Advance. How do you plan to scale the resource, indexing, and verification when universities upload large course libraries or textbooks?
All right, I'll take that question. So currently, with our product that we built, we've just got the one, I guess, sort of database and instance together. So as we would plan to scale, you would have an own, I guess, bubble for each university. So that way everything is secure and private, but secondly, to not have the massive sort of strain all being searched through at once. When it comes to those larger resources, that was actually one of the, I guess, the roadblocks we had when we were going through it. So maybe it would be chunking them into smaller pieces so that way AI is able to look through it quickly. And one thing that we explored was when something's uploaded, we can kind of get AI to do a quick summary of what does this resource provide. So that way, when you're waiting for an answer to come back from the AI, it's able to quickly scan through, okay, this thing might have a relevant answer, this definitely not, and it's not searching through everything. So that's sort of how we would combat the large load.
Yeah, and just to add on to that, we also don't want it to really turn into something where it's like similar to asking ChatGPT a question where it just gives you the answer. We also want to make sure that it actually helps people learn. And what we're trying to do is just kind of get rid of the friction in the learning process because for example, in any average class, you have sort of a discussion page, you have like modules, you have lecture slides, you have a textbook, and you're kind of searching for a piece of information, but it's really difficult to go through all those avenues and try to find everything that's relevant. So even just having this tool and being able to ask it, where can I find the information, not necessarily for the information, we think could be really valuable. So we'd probably want to start there and then maybe consider how we can integrate it a bit better.
Awesome. Thank you so much for answering all the judge and community questions, Advance. Fantastic presentation and good luck in today's Hacknode. We'll be moving on now to the next project. So moving on to meal deals. So we'll bring Z and Yi up on stage and we'll be playing that presentation for meal deals. Thank you.
Everyone, my name's Yining and this is Ziheng, and together we build Meal Deals. Meal Deals is the all-in-one grocery planner to help you cut down on your grocery bill and plan your weekly dinners. But first, let us tell you a little bit about ourselves. We're both studying computer science at the University of Sydney and we're international students from Malaysia. As university students settling into Australia for the first time, we've come across a challenge that every Australian faces. How do you make the most of your weekly grocery budget without having to cook the same 2 dishes over and over every week? Well, Meal Deals is the perfect solution to that problem. Every week, each major Australian supermarket sets weekly special offers on an ever-rotating selection of products. Taking advantage of these offers means checking up to 3 different apps to catch the weekly catalogs, coming up with new recipes, and having to manually compare product prices across supermarket chains. But most people simply don't have the time for that. And as a result, we miss out on deals that could save us up to $20 a week. In just a month, that could mean saving an extra $80 on your monthly expenses.
Instead, Meal Deals offers a platform that consolidates the current supermarket deals. You choose the products you're interested in, and from those ingredients, Meal Deals generates recipes perfectly tailored to your preferences. To show you what we mean and just see how easy Meal Deals is, here's the front page for Meal Deals. Here, you browse all the offers from your favorite supermarkets, all on one page. It lets you sort by brand, shows you the prices for each product across all supermarkets, and calculates how much you're saving all with a few clicks. Then, once you've selected the ingredients you're interested in, it generates brand new recipes from those ingredients. Each recipe comes with nutrition data, cook time, detailed steps, and difficulty level. You can save recipes you want to make again to your profile, and in the future, even check what recipes your friends and favorite influencers are cooking up. Now let's see how MuleDeals work in the background. These 4 files make up MuleDeals front end. This is the landing page, the main page, profile page, and subscription page. And there's a not found page to catch unexpected links. For the framework, we use React with Tailwind CSS for super clean styling. This means our UI is responsive on all devices and simple to update and improve. For the backend, here's where MuleDeals integrated AI does its magic. When the user clicks Generate Recipe, this code sends an API call to prompt Ollama with the list of users' chosen ingredients. Ollama responds with the recipes, and we parse this output by extracting the different components in order to present it cleanly on the front end for the user.
MuleDeals is an app with so much more room to grow. Going forward, we're planning to further develop MuleDeals' social aspects and its peripheral features. MuleDeals could integrate location data to highlight supermarkets on your after-work commute and check in-stock data at those branches, or by integrating payment gateways, even order your groceries for you. We also plan to collaborate with beloved food influencers to host their premium verified recipes on MuleDeals. Instead of spending hours scrolling around social media platforms to look for the perfect recipe from your favorite cooking influencer, MuleDeals' AI could recommend recipes that take maximum advantage of the current offers. MuleDeals is truly the future of grocery shopping and home cooking, and it's the next step in our current world of efficiency and health. It could save Australians hundreds of dollars, allow us to eat healthier and more diversely, and bond over a part of life we all share. We hope you can see just how much potential MuleDeals has as the next big innovation in the world of cooking. Thank you for watching. Once again, I'm Yining, this is Ziheng, and this is MuleDeals.
Wow, another great presentation. Thank you so much, MuleDeals. We'll hand over to the judges and then the community to ask questions.
I'll go first. Guys, it's a very, very, very good solution. Fantastic presentation. Congratulations. So I really like when people find like real world problems. I think it's a great problem that I think relate to you guys, which is really good. And also your presentation structured really well. I think you spend a little bit more time actually perfecting the product as well. The front end looks really good. So my feedback for you guys, you mentioned about the influencers. If you thinking about doing more personalization, well, how are you thinking of personalization when it's come to allowing users to have some inputs versus collecting inputs from the users versus how do you thinking of providing some personalized recommendations? So how do you thinking of creating that solution for the user?
So there are a couple ways we could do this. I think it's quite common for people, for home cooks, to have a couple favorite influencers they always go to for recipes who they trust. So that's one of the ways we could do when you create an account on MuleDeals. You could select from a list of influencers saying, oh, these are the influencers I already trust. And MuleDeals could not only prioritize those influencers, but also connect you with influencers who create the same kind of food, the same kind of tastes. Another thing you could do is dietary restrictions. People are on keto diets, gluten-free, low carb. All of these diet choices could go into MuleDeals' AI to help it decide what recipes are right for you. And you could tell it, I feel like eating this cuisine today. Of course, because it's connected with an account, when you save recipes, it could put that into its training data as well to decide, oh, I see that this person likes this specific type of recipe, these types of ingredients, cook these ways, and that's how it could choose better choices as you use it.
Fantastic.
I will go next. Great product, although these days people don't like to cook much, but it's a great product for people who want to cook. Normally, I've seen two types of products, right? One is in grocery stores, you have like especially in online grocery stores, you have like, or these grocery stores aggregators, you like Uber Eats, you have like, oh, I want to eat this food. So they just add all the ingredients to your basket and you check out. That's one. Second is like these health influencers or health apps where you can say, they just give you the diet plan and you have the meal. There is not much recipe there, right? What I'm understanding is at your site, user can decide their preferences, and also based on that preference, it automatically cooks up a recipe, and then it gives them an option of, okay, you want to do this, and then when they say I want to do this, I'm just trying to understand the product better first before I ask the question, and then they say, okay, here are the list of groceries that you will need to for this, and then you will just apply that. Does so the question is, does it buys automatically for me, or does it and if yes, or can the user add them all manually to the cart and then also do a checkout? If yes, then how do you source these APIs and data, price data from these grocery stores? Or do you or you have active integration, or you plan to have them?
So for this, we haven't integrated it yet, but it's definitely in the plan to, as we said in the video, integrate payment gateways to buy your groceries for you. But currently, Meal Deals is just a platform to show you all the deals and show you the possible recipes from that. But yes, integrating.
But do you get the feeds from like say Walmart or any of these grocery giants or local stores? How do you input the price for each of these groceries into it? Forget about checkout.
Yeah. So in the production version, we're planning to collaborate with the grocery stores to use their official APIs to make sure we have all this official data and the current, most recent data.
I'll go next if that's all right. So I think I love the app. I think it's more useful. It's useful across the board, not necessarily just students. Anybody who's time poor can use it. One feature I would love to see in an app like this is if I can take a photo of my fridge, inside my fridge, and then it looks at the inventory and says, you don't need to buy these, you just need to buy this. And I can maintain that inventory on the app. So I'm forced, or you're orchestrating my inventory, kitchen inventory. So I have to use your app to do all of the purchases. That gives you, that orchestration will give you a higher monetization opportunity. That's just a thought.
Over to you, Peter, I think.
Yeah, and definitely working with those grocery markets for the B2B business model. I think, yeah, the people that are trying to save on their groceries would love to save, won't have the capacity to spend on a subscription or anything like that, or as much. But yeah, definitely groceries would love to get out there and help fill those fridges, like Guru was saying.
Great. Thank you, judges. I think we have a community question coming. Here it is for Meal Deals. What business opportunities do you see here? Affiliate partnerships, recipe marketplaces, or loyalty integrations? I know we did talk about influencers, but yeah, please elaborate on this question.
Okay, so we have a free plan and a premium plan, which has more features inside it. So this is one of the business opportunities. And another thing is we are planning to somehow make money from this. Is like if the app, if this website helps to like save maybe some money from your budget, and maybe the website will take a percentage of the money as the how to say the benefit from the website, something like this. Yeah. And Yining, do you have anything to add on?
Yeah, and for the influencer collaborations, maybe there'll be some commission involved, because a lot of the things that the influencers will be providing to new deals, they already do on social media platforms, so it's not much cost to them, and it also helps them, gain followers, because new deals will be connecting customers who might like their recipes, who might like their content, to the influencers as well. So it's a win-win on both sides.
Yeah, and we also stated before that we will be maybe planning to collaborate with supermarkets, and this is also a win-win for both sides, because by collaborating with supermarkets, users can see the deals on those supermarkets, and the supermarkets might gain more customers, and meal deals will gain more users, and this is also a win-win situation with, like, we can make it a business opportunity, something like this.
Okay, fantastic. I think you've answered all the questions from the judges and community really well. So thank you so much for your presentation today. We will be moving over to the last presentation of today, which is Debate Mate. So thank you, Meal Deals, and we'll be heading over to Debate Mate for the final presentation. Let's play that now, and welcome Lee, who is from Debate Mate. So let's play the presentation, and then we'll move into questions and answers from the judges and community.
It's your AI-powered debate coach. Let me introduce you how these ideas came about. First, I want to ask you a question. Have you ever want to be a debate pro or want to improve your public speaking skills? I think most of us did, but we are struggling to practice outside. At the same time, the existing platforms didn't provide real-time feedback or the AI-powered coaching to guide us effectively. So this inspired me to create DebateMate. And our vision is simple: just help users sharpen critical thinking, improve their persuasiveness skills, and practice structured debates anytime, anywhere with AI support. So our DebateMate offers 5 standout features. First one, interactive debates with AI engaged in real time. So that will add more fun when you're engaging with AI. And second, the voice mode for natural conversations. That means you can talk with our platforms just as you talk with anybody. So the third one is a live metrics that tracking clarity, logic, and persuasiveness. It can give you some insights of which metrics you should improve. And the next one is about history tracking and revive past debates. That's very helpful. And the most important things, we use a fully open source architecture. We built on the Next.js, the Taiwan CSS, and the Llama AI modes. It's all open source. Let's look at the core features. The first step, you need to choose a topic. You can choose from created debates topics or on your own. These topics are clarified by levels. You can choose different levels of topics and can create your own. Let me create one. So it's right description. It's a new topic. We choose a level 4. It is an intermediate one. Save this topic. You can see the first one is what we created just now. But for demonstration, I will choose is remote work better than office work. I support office work, so we choose agree con. And AI takes the opposite side and engages in a structured debate with me. So AI stance is support the remote work. You can see, unlike a simple chatbot, the DebateMate provides real-time feedback systems after each round. It scores your argument on persuasiveness, clarity, and logic. It scores your give you an overall score, and we're using progress bar, emojis, and color indicators to add more fun. Let me try this. We give it an argument and send it. You can see after I click send button, we are counting how many arguments I sent. And after we received the reply from AI, there shows how many responses we received. And this is a history. Oh, we got our answers. It usually takes less than 6 seconds. You can see we got our answers. The overall score is very good, and our persuasiveness and logic we can do it better. This is the scores based on this round debate. You can see here shows 1. That means you received 1 response. And for a more natural experience, DebateMate supports voice debate. It speaks your argument, and AI listens with whisper speech-to-text response and talks back with text. I click here, it will connect to my phone's speaker. Remote work can make it harder to separate professional and personal life. Many employees struggle with longer working hours, constant online availability, and distractions at home. In contrast, going to the office provides structures and clearer boundaries, helping people maintain a healthy work-life balance. Yeah, we send it to AI. Can see with 2 arguments in total. Here we are. This is the answer. You can see that means the AI listened what I said, and by still support for the remote work from home, he give me the details of whether you have money benefits for the remote work. But you can see after the second round, the logic is not very good, so we can improve logic based on this analysis. You can improve the debate skills. Here are our histories. We also build a user system. You can sign up, track your debate history, and see progress over time. DebateMate isn't just the AI chatbot, it's an educational platform for practice public speaking, debate, and communication skills. Because it's built on open source AI models, it's transparent, free, and accessible to anyone from students preparing for competition to professionals training for. We're always looking ahead, so for DebateMate, they still have some features need to enhance. And last, thank you, and any questions?
Okay, thank you so much for the presentation, Lee. Let's hand over to the judges and the community question.
I can go first. That was a fantastic use case, Lee. Well done. And I think you focused it really, really well on one particular target market. However, I would suggest that maybe in your roadmap, think about how you can expand it out, because the way I'm looking at the tool, it's not just for debating, but any communication, feedback, and assistance tool. For example, if it can help me prepare for an interview, it can help me prepare for a negotiation with a difficult customer, help me prepare the elevator pitch to Ashton to fund my next project, probably. It can help me with all of those because I can give the personality of the other person to it, and then I can be the negotiator on this side. So I think the application is fantastic, and it's got a wide use case for it. Well done.
Yes, definitely. Thank you, Guri. Based on what you talk about, I think yes, we can expand it for the interview to prepare for any things, and except that we can add more languages, just add more Google Translation or the API to support more languages. I think that can more target audience for us. Yeah.
Absolutely. Expanding.
I can give a really maybe futuristic feedback. I'm not sure if you have seen real-time like AI vision systems. Basically, you can just let AI see through your camera and it basically recognized. Imagine if you can extend that for understanding the body language, because obviously when we communicate to people, whether it's in person or virtual environment like this, body language also important. Recognizing the body language based on a set data to actually represent a specific goal. It could be negotiation, it could be interview. Giving that visual and also recognizing the voice, that would be fantastic. Imagine sort of like an AI coach looking at you, listening to your voice, looking at your body language, and it's giving you really good feedback. How to improve, not from a voice, not from a body language point of view, but also the actual argument itself. So I think you can really extend that for a greater solutions in the future.
Thank you. That's really a good suggestions. Yeah.
Love that, Ash. That was a fantastic one.
Okay, next judge question.
So, help me understand, Ashton made a really good point that body language analysis and all. I personally see this as preparing for anything, as Guru was saying. What's the biggest bottleneck right now you have from the tech side for this thing, and what is your tech roadmap for this?
Sorry, your question is about what's the take what? Sorry,
What's the
pardon.
biggest challenge tech-wise you are facing in this product?
Biggest challenges, yeah. I have to say it's like the personal analyze, because after you argue with the AI, they have to be very accurate how to score your debating results. I have to say, because I based on some the persuasiveness, the logic, and they have some metrics, but it's not very accurate. I have to say, yeah. So that part is a difficult one. Yeah, still need to find the good ways to give you the good suggestions. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, any other judge questions today? All good. We've got a community question, so let's put that up on the screen. For DebateMate, what future features do you want to add? Multilingual debates, community challenges, leaderboards. And this is once you publish on the App Store. So this is the OpenxAI app marketplace, where we will help host and list all of these applications. So yeah, let us know which features would you like to see in the near future, Lee.
I think you have already given me some good suggestions, like more things like interview or like more scenarios. The products can also use for interviewers for any other other industries, like the sales or the consulting, like these things. But we also can. What I'm prepared is to add the more languages, and we can create the and the users to maybe create some groups for them to join this kind of things like meetup or some things, because we have the topic. Maybe we can expand the topic to some activities or events they are interested in. They can join the chat group, or they can join the virtual debate or the virtual interviews. That can be all the different events, but it's all based on the talking. Maybe we can expand to some visual robots here to help them grow, to help them practice. Yes, that's it.
Okay, thank you so much, Lee, and wish you luck with DebateMate in the Hacknode Australia. And yeah, looking forward to seeing how you go. That's all the projects, so thank you so much for everyone today presenting. We'll be handing over to Ashton, the founder of OpenxAI, who will continue with a mini keynote. In the meantime, the judges will be deliberating who the winners of the first, second, and third prizes are, along with the Top AI Innovator Award, which is the hardware prize, Xnode 1, and everyone else will get honorable mentions for making it through to the final round. So over to you, Ashton. Thank you.
Awesome. All right, so let me share my screen. I have a few slides to share with you. Please give me a thumbs up if you can see. John? Okay, cool. All right, so there's no doubt AI is one of the most, I would say, impactful and also a very powerful technology that a human have ever created. So And we also see the AI is going through a really adoption cycle, but also I consider as a super cycle. Everyone's saying there's a bubble, certainly in equity markets, but from a tech point of view, we see a really good S curve in the AI adoption and AI innovation space. So the bigger question, like who owns AI? Like if you ask that question, it's straightforward today, is only like around 4 to 5 companies. 4 to 5 corporations control pretty much all the AI networks, services, and etc. If you look at like the community-wise, AI communities, like the biggest ecosystem and community is Hugging Face. Hugging Face also happened to be a private and owned by a corporation. So if you think about AI, today AI more like a political, like you have Western AI and also you have a sort of other regions, and they are kind of in a fight to prove who's bigger and better. To me, AI kind of like a modern version of Ark of Covenant. So who has the biggest AI capabilities, showcase the power to the rest of the society. It's kind of like in a signal in theory, showing who has the biggest capabilities. Now the challenge for me personally, when you have so much concentration, because it's not just the AI, the very same company also happen to be the largest, let's say they are the largest data custodian. They have the biggest data centers. They have also happen to have the largest social media platforms. So it's a heavily concentrated ecosystem. If you look at as a pyramid, it's basically we have all the users underneath. We have the corporations owned by asset managers, and who's behind asset managers, we have no idea. So it's kind of a pyramid, the structure that we have, how the AI talent, knowledge, distribution, everything is constructed. Often it's fall under few group of people. It's predominantly run by tech CEOs and also asset managers or larger shareholders behind those corporations. Like for us, obviously, we don't have much say for who gets what, because essentially you cannot say as a citizen or a user, you don't want this feature, you don't want these functions and etc. So they just whatever the solutions that they built, whether it's a ChatGPT or Grok or any other AI services, they just provide to you whatever they think is right. Now, historically speaking, like if you think about like a small group of people decide what is good for society, and they basically tell you this is what you should want. This is the same concept that we had for thousands of years. A lot of these like empires and also these kind of dictators, they decide what is good for society, and they just did it behind closed doors. And even though it's not extreme, but if you take a step back and if you think about the structure is kind of the same, right? So we are on the bottom, like the consumers, and then you have the ladders. So there's not much difference compared to thousands of years to today, how these things have constructed. To me personally, it's kind of a very scary, because you have all these combinations, specifically like having all the AI infrastructure, data, the social media, all under one corporations, like a small group of corporations, and they happen to, like we're supposed to trust them, right? Or we are hoping they will do the right thing. I mean, this is how a lot of disaster happens, because if you're relying on a small group of people to actually decide what is good for society, it doesn't always go well. These are simple examples, like in 2008 financial crisis, because small group of banks decided to, they're given a lot of power, they're given a lot of mandates, they were given a lot of incentives, but also from a regulatory point of view, they're given a lot of freedom. And obviously, they made a lot of mistakes. And who suffered? People suffered, right? So that's the situation. And this is not just a recent event. If you go back in history, this happened over and over again. So when you're given so much concentrated power and regulatory, let's say, freedom, these smaller group of people, they will do whatever they want to do. So if you think about this kind of a, let's say, structure, if you go beyond, like right now we are type 0 civilization, right? So we are still in a kind of the growth stage. In the next maybe 100, 200 years, we will be progressing into type 1 civilization. Now, the great question for us, if we become type 1 civilization, are we going to have the same kind of a corporation controlling solar system level, data centers, AI solutions, and etc.? So it will become like a let's say quadrillion market cap corporation controlling the solar system, right? So if you go down this path, this is where we're heading. So from a democratic point of view, like democratic principles and democratic philosophies point of view, not a small group of people get to decide what is good for society, right? So we all should share that right. So that's why I think the current AI space and AI industry, it's not designed in these democratic principles. And then if you look at the access to AI, like Western world, it's easy to access these services. But if you look into like the rest of the world, like Africa, Asia, it's very difficult to access AI services, especially like obtaining AI services, especially if you want to build something. Because if you have to spend like $100 a month on hosting service, that's like maybe someone's like a 3-month salary in Africa. And beyond the infrastructure cost, if you look at the users who are, let's call it entrepreneurs, most of entrepreneurs are non-coders. So if you look at a high level, AI is being centralized heavily right now, and also a lot of people can't afford, a lot of people can't access. Now, if this is going to be a really important thing for society, so we have to think about a little bit more different, like a different architecture design. So on the left-hand side, the centralized architecture, this has been I would say the bedrock for most of the IT systems today. Like even to this date, that's the predominantly like the main architecture, centralized architecture. In the last maybe 5-6 years, we see a really good progression in terms of decentralized distributed systems. A great example is Bitcoin network. So we're seeing sort of an evolution of digital infrastructure, but also decentralized. So back in the days, like 20, 30 years ago, maybe when you say public infrastructure, people are referring to like roads, transport, electric grid, and etc. But today, public infrastructure can be IT infrastructure, something like maybe Bitcoin network or Ethereum network. So I think the IT infrastructure is considering to be like a public infrastructure. It's been happening for quite some time. So if you look at during the internet era, the TCP/IP protocol, it's changed how we communicate to each other, right? So all of a sudden, people used to be in smaller regions, but then it became like a smaller village. So if you look at Web3 era, with Bitcoin network allow anyone to talk to each other in a way that you can share your Bitcoin with someone else. It's kind of like a living and breathing ecosystem. There's no middleman, there's no company, there's no CEO behind Bitcoin network. So if I have a Bitcoin in my wallet, I can transfer to anybody without any middleman. So there's no permission required for me to send my Bitcoin from my wallet to someone. So that changed a lot of I would say paradigms, because often when you're thinking about any transaction between two parties, they always you have a middleman. The middleman will verify what is being sent and what is being received. So for the first time in history, you have a network that living and breathing and also treated like a public infrastructure, but there's no middleman, there's no company. So OpenxAI, we see the same kind of a solution. So our OpenxAI, even though we are the founders, we are the initial creators, but it's a global network. You've got tons of data centers and nodes running in the network, so anyone can access. There's no registration required. If you guys used our network or our platform, there's no registration, there's no terms and conditions. You can just basically access our network. And also the way we are seeing our network is progressing, especially for anyone to launch any AI services and AI apps without having any middleman. The way we came up with the name for OpenxAI obviously is a fun story. Maybe I can talk about that in another time. But I think a lot of these solutions that we see in the ecosystem, they started with like open source, but then they turn into somewhat like a corporate structure. That's the evolution for most of AI services. But what we are seeing now, we're seeing a really good, I think, confirmed evolution in the AI space. And obviously, some of the evolutions are cutting edge. That's why a lot of people don't even hear about it. So if you think about the closed source AI services, which is predominantly controlled by corporations, that's the majority at the moment. That's on the left-hand side. And then you have open source AI, which is kind of like a MIT open source license that you can take it, you can customize, you can resell it, you can use it for personal or commercial purposes. And then you have a decentralized AI, which kind of like a open source software with a token and a community. So that's changes a lot of things, because having a token in your ecosystem that giving you sort of a distributed governance or maybe voting capabilities. So there are really good use cases. But what I'm really excited about personally is the next iteration, which is the permissionless AI. Same way how you can access Bitcoin network and you can interact with the Bitcoin network regardless of your location. You could be in North Korea and you can access Bitcoin network. You could be in Africa, you could be in anywhere, and there's no registrations, there's no any permission required to access the service. So it's not from accessing the service point of view, but also you can, if you're a creator, if you want to build something, you can build that in a network. So then people can also access that. So for me, like when you look at the AI space as a whole, like launching your own AI startup, it's kind of like watching a movie in 90s, right? So what I mean by, like, if you really think about before streaming service like Netflix, if you really think about the journey of watching a movie, right? So first you have to think about, I want to watch a movie, and then you have to take a transportation to go to a video store and pick a movie and say hello to the cashier, smile, and make a payment and take a transportation back, and then you basically watch your movie. So it's a long process, right? It takes a lot of time and effort. With the streaming services, you basically can click one button and you just watch whatever you want. It changed everything, right? That's why streaming services are very, very popular today. So let's look at if you were to start an AI company, if you're an AI builder or AI entrepreneur, what does your journey look like? So your journey, you have to come up with an idea, and you need to you need to figure out where to host your AI services, and you need to start building your AI service, which means you have to build your backend, databases, front end. And once you build, let's say, 1, 2, 3 steps, then if your AI service require like some sort of a payment integrations, so let's say you need to accept payments from your customers, then you need to integrate like credit card payment systems, right? So like Visa, MasterCard, and etc. So, and in order for you to receive funds from the credit card payment provider, you need to have a bank account. So that's step number 6. You need to go and open a bank account. And in order for you to have a bank account, you need to have a company. You need to register for a corporate registration. So even though AI is very, very popular, AI is like very, really common, but the experience of going from 0 to 1, it's very, very painful. So that's why if you think about the stages that a lot of AI startups going through, it's a very, I would say, complicated, depending on the region. In Australia, for example, if you were to set up a company, it can be quite easy. Getting your bank account, getting your company registration done, it can be quite straightforward. But if you go like places like Africa or places like Middle East, like in Dubai, for example, if you were to open up a company and register for a bank account, it can take up to like 3 to 6 months to get your own bank account. And if you go to certain regions like Africa, people don't even have bank accounts. So if you want to go from 0 to 1, and if you want to offer AI services to anyone in the world, you probably won't be able to do that if you are in those regions. And the other thing, like who can actually talk to, let's say, credit card payment providers and immediately get a kind of acceptance to integrate that credit card payment system onto your website. Not many people can do that because they're also reviewing who you are. So all these like a online SaaS credit card payment systems is not available for everybody. So that's why I see, like with our platform, we are cutting all the banking requirements, having to have credit card payment systems, having to set up a company. Everything will be removed. So how we do that, we leverage Web3 technologies. We leverage Web3 technologies, we leverage crypto, we leverage like Web3 wallets, the same way how Netflix basically cut all these processes. We do the same thing using the latest technology. If you think about like before internet, the example that I showed you, people have to go to store and buy the DVD or CDs or VHS cassette to watch the movie. Netflix cut all of that processes. So we do the same using Web3 technology, leveraging wallets instead of having a bank account. If you were to build like a custom SaaS solutions, you can leverage smart contracts. So since the user also the only I would say the owner of the infrastructure that you build, the privacy itself becoming like a really important for you and for users because you control the whole infrastructure. And the only person who can access the data inside your infrastructure is going to be you, because we leverage the cryptography to encrypt the data on the server. So typical servers you have to access through like SSH key, or you're using your email. We leverage something called Web3 wallets. So we leverage Ethereum network. So Ethereum network is one of the safest and secure networks in the world. We leverage that security to encrypt your data, encrypt your backend. So that's a really strong value proposition for IP protection, but also AI privacy. So OpenxAI, at a high level, like I mentioned, it's a peer-to-peer AI network. The same way how Bitcoin disrupted in the money industry. So Bitcoin made money borderless. We're trying to make AI borderless. So the main use case, anyone can basically come to our network, come to our platform, launch an AI service, and you can provide that AI services to anybody without having any middleman, which is a very a great use case. So users can provide these AI services, and end users, builders can provide these AI services to anybody, and then consumers can interact directly with the builder. So it's basically builders and consumers can meet each other without a middleman. Unlike traditional systems, like we call it Web 2 systems, our network, we leverage the next evolution of the internet, which is Web 3. One of the key component for us is the permissionless. Permissionless means you don't require any permission to access or consume. So we have two different, I would say, components on OpenxAI network and OpenxAI protocol. So OpenxAI network is the network. These are physical infrastructure like nodes, data centers, and connectivity between those data centers. And the protocol itself, it's the software layer, the logic layer, how users can interact with it. So it's a full stack solution we've been building for the last 4 years, roughly. So we have an infrastructure layer, we have orchestration layer, we have a marketplace, and we also have a really great user-related interfaces. So again, I'm going to skip these things. I'm sure you guys have seen some of that. But at high level, you can go to our app store. We have app store. I can show you our latest app store. What does that look like? So this is our latest app store. In the app store, we have foundational models for people to start utilizing and building. And we also have a marketplace where builders can push those your AI products into the marketplace so other people can discover. So the cool thing here, you can differentiate between marketplace and building. In the builder section, you can go into the builder section, then you can utilize any foundational models, and you can just start deploying it. So here, I'm going to do a quick demo how this platform works. So here, since we tap into a lot of unused compute and unused infrastructure and GPUs around the world, so it's kind of like a Skyscanner for GPU or Skyscanner for compute. So users will have a lot of, I would say, affordable compute and GPU compared to Google Cloud or AWS or Microsoft Cloud. So here you can utilize these types of cheaper servers that are unutilized on a data center. So therefore, you can actually save tons of, let's say, costing for hosting and infrastructure costs. And then you can use crypto. And when it's come to like business, if you want to create a specific monetization, instead of using credit cards, you can basically build completely using Web3 technologies. So you can offer your service for free, or you can actually ask people to pay for your service, and you can charge from cryptocurrencies. There are stable coins, and you can charge from Bitcoins if you like. And then instead of having a bank account, you can just use a Web3 wallet. So your payments can come to your wallet directly. In terms of your protecting your IP and also privacy, you basically control it because it's attached to your wallet. And instead of registering for a company, you can use smart contracts. So these are sort of like innovations that you can utilize to go from 0 to 1 without having going through all these long processes like setting up bank accounts and etc. Once you build your app, you can ship that into the marketplace so anyone can discover. I think it's a great I would say, paradigm shift how you build and consume AI services. So I'll wrap up my slides here. So the goal for us is being able to give a solution for any builder, whether it's a technical builder or a non-technical builder, launching your AI company under 5 minutes. So I think that's our key message, but also the key enabling factor. I'll just showcase just a few things in terms of value prop or value proposition from our network. We are 80% cheaper compute and GPU. In terms of the model ownership and privacy, we have a great AI privacy. So this is a benchmark test that we did running DeepSeek R1 for 12 months. As you can see, the blue line is OpenxAI, so it's a significant price difference in terms of hosting costs. You can also go to our platform, compare the specific types of whether it's a GPU renting costs or AI infrastructure hosting, storage costs, and etc. You can compare the pricing between OpenxAI and other infrastructure. So at a high level, we are very excited to see all these builders are coming together and building things and collaborating these kind of initiatives. One final message to all of you, like what we are seeing now, like the first world countries actually going through kind of like a good evolution of technology. If you think about internet time, people go through from dial-up and then fiber connectivity and then going to 5G. But if you look at like developing nations, they never had dial-ups, but then they have 5G straight away. And I see like we are enabling those kind of evolution. I think this is where we see things like OpenAI. They are like the IBM of the technology. They are very corporate. They build large scale technologies, very expensive solutions like DeepSeek. They brought all these capabilities into affordable to everyone, so you can get the same capabilities in a lot more affordable way. OpenxAI is pushing that into the next level, that bringing that affordability, bringing that accessibility to anyone. So thank you very much for my listening for my presentation. But overall, very excited to see your all these solutions that you guys built, and I'm excited to invite you to our marketplaces so you can upload your products and solutions directly onto our marketplace. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ashton. Now we'll transition over to announcing the winners of HackNode Australia. So yeah, huge thank you to all the teams from Australia for producing fantastic projects, going through the trials and tribulations of a 2-month hackathon, submitting a product, building with open source AI, building on top of OpenxAI. So many thank you to all of those that attended all the mentoring sessions, all the workshops for developers over the past couple of months. But now we'll just quickly go into the first winning prize taker. So without further ado, let's see who is the first prize. Okay, so for the first prize announced tonight, it's the AI Innovator Award. And the winner of the AI Innovator Award is EcoTrace. So Tanisha, congratulations. I can see a whole bunch of claps and thumbs up everywhere on the live stream. So massive thank you to Tanisha from EcoTrace. I think Tanisha's on the call if you wanted to say a thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you to all the judges, especially for choosing my project. This is great this was my first hackathon. So.
Wow, awesome! So that's fantastic. You should enter more hackathons. You've won a prize here, and obviously the prize is the XNode 1 hardware. Now this hardware is worth a sizable amount. It will be very powerful to run CPU models. It has certain features like a docking station to rack GPUs as well. It can run XNode OS. You can build things locally, very powerful AI solutions locally from your own developer workspace at home, but also it can integrate with everything that OpenxAI is building in the future to potentially earn revenue from that. So I don't know, Ashton, did you have anything you want to add to this?
No, congratulations. I think great to see innovation solutions from students, and I think it shows instead of just being a typical students and building solutions from this stage is very important, and then presenting yourself whether it's a solution or an idea. So I really appreciate that, because a lot of people these days, they don't put themselves in uncomfortable positions, but also like showcasing what they want to build as part of their course or as part of their ideas that they have. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Thanks, Tanisha. Well done, EcoTrace. Moving on to the third place winner. So let's bring that up on screen. So we have the third place winner. The reward is 1,000 Australian dollars. So congratulations, Advance.
Hey, thank you guys so much.
Yeah, we had a great time.
Really appreciate your help, Johnny, in the mentoring sessions, and thanks, Ashton, for going through the, going through the company. Really like the vision. Thanks, guys.
Congratulations.
Great, that's it. Yeah, thank you so much, guys. Liam, Gathika. Yeah, fantastic prize there. Ashton, anything you want to say about third place?
I think it's great to see students actually pushing themselves. This is what I encourage anybody to do these kind of experiments, because it's helped for you to build your career, get connected. Like now I know you, right? So it's great that you guys building these things. Our community going to see it, and I think it's a great initiatives from John. And yeah, so I'm excited to see how these solutions actually progress in the next coming days and coming weeks.
Perfect. Thank you, Advance. Moving on to the next prize winner, second place. Okay, thank you. So for second place in the Hacknode Australia prize winners, we have Matcha Match, reward 1,500 Australian dollars. Congratulations, guys.
Thank you so much. Can't wait to see Matcha Match on OpenxAI new factory app. It'll be so awesome.
Thank you so much for choosing us for second place.
Yeah,
fantastic.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Yeah, well done, guys. Yeah, thanks for all your hard work, joining all the workshops, all the mentoring sessions, and really hitting it out the park with your project and what you've built, and the presentation today. Massive thank you there, and yeah, congratulations on the win. Over to Ashton, anything you want to add?
Congratulations, guys. I think you guys should definitely list these solutions on our marketplace, people will enjoy for sure.
Thank you so much. And we really appreciated your feedback regarding our app as well.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Okay, fantastic match. Second place, 1,500 Australian dollars going to second place match. Now moving over to the last announcement, and that is first place. And yeah, massive thank you to Meal Deals. So we have Meal Deals taking out first place of the OpenxAI Hacknode Australia. First place reward is 2,500 Australian dollars. Just to mention, all participants in this final round today will get free hosting by OpenxAI. So you will receive credits and we'll work with you to help build and launch this on top of OpenxAI. Put your app, launch it in the App Store and the App Marketplace, and assist with choosing the revenue models that are enabled by Web3. So looking forward to working with everyone here. But yeah, massive thank you to Meal Deals. Yeah, anything you want to say, Yi?
Thank you so much. I think my partner's trying to join now. But we're both really grateful for this this honor. You know, it's a great opportunity to be able to work with OpenxAI on this hackathon. And yeah, we're really glad you liked our project.
Yeah, great. All the judges have been deliberating, and they've basically ranked all of the projects. You know, a huge amount of submissions into the Australia Hackathon, and you've made it all the way up to number 1. So massive congratulations to you, Yi, and your co-founder. I believe he's at university or something right now. You might be able to join. Hey,
Yes,
Z, how you going?
Hi, thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for coming out of university and just dropping into the call. I know you're very busy at the exam week, but yeah, basically you have won first place, 2,500 Australian dollars. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. And thank you to all the judges for their time here today.
Okay, over to Ashton.
Yeah, guys, I think, this has shown, how your ideas can go from 0 to 1. I mean, today, judging criteria, we broken down to different verticals. First is the product clarity, how much the clarity that you guys have for yourself, but also how you guys express that clarity to us. Second criteria, we looked at the technical depth, whether you have a technical expertise to actually build the tech. And then the practical application, that's the third criteria, like how practical your solutions to an audience or a specific demographics. And we also looked at the innovation. So innovation, how innovative thinking in terms of like how you present your problem in a specific way for the user. And then we looked at the user experience across all the solutions that you submitted, because I think user experience is quite important. I think some of the members probably didn't have much time to improve the user experience, but for you guys, and I see a great amount of efforts that you guys put in to understand the user experience, which is really, really important. And the other last criteria, we look for a future potential. What are the potential that you have in your solution and your team go to the next level? And I think across all these criteria, you got the highest score from all judges. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Meal Deals. Well done and congratulations. So that concludes all the hackathon project winner announcements today. I'd just like to say a massive thank you to all the judges that attended today's call. Guru, thank you so much. We also had Shashi and Peter and Ashton. So thank you so much for joining and going through the projects rigorously to find the top projects. That's a huge, a lot of quality projects come out of HackNode Australia. So thank you. Also to all the projects, 7 projects made it through to the final round. Again, you will be continue working with us. We will provide hosting credits, help get your app launched from your idea that's running locally on your machine, launch it on to a decentralized cloud that is OpenxAI, and then enable Web3 monetization. So we really want to make sure that all these projects not only build something in a short timeline in a hackathon environment, but also launch into successful applications that make revenue for the founders and then can like actually scale up and eventually change the world. So huge potential in all of these projects. That concludes today's event. I'll hand over to Ashton to have some final words, and that's it from me.
Thank you, John. I think it's a great initiative. This is our first HackNode initiative. We're planning to do a lot more, hopefully in person, in different cities and different regions. We are a small startup as well, so we are not a large corporation. So we're looking for like great people to join our open source movement. As part of these type of HackNode is to also to showcase what our technology can do. I think you guys couldn't utilize some of our tech. The good thing right now, at end of this month, we have our new platform is launching. You will have a lot more access in terms of the capabilities, but also the tools that you have access to. So I think overall, in the next 3 to 4 months, we're gonna see a lot more solutions gonna come out, and I'm very excited to see how people are gonna utilize the next evolution of web technologies like Web3, how you natively leverage those things to provide a better use case, because that's where I would say the cutting edge, or I call it more maybe 10x innovation will come. And we are seeing a big shift towards to Web3 technologies, especially in the US. A lot of policies and also a lot of adoption in stable coins, things like Web3 technologies. Unfortunately, Australia probably will be a little bit lagging for like a few years. But I think it's good for you guys to stay ahead. If you want to be relevant in 2 years, it's always important to know what's happening today and maybe what's happening in 6 months, because our industry, AI and Web3 industries, are moving really, really rapidly. Stay ahead in these types of innovation. It helps you to position yourself, but also to learn and also connect with great people. So overall, I think it's a great success. So thank you for everyone, especially attending on a Sunday. Thanks for judges, and also great thanks for our DevRel and our organizing team, John, and the rest of the DevRel team. So thank you very much.
Over to Guru, you wanted to say a few words?
Yeah, just a couple of words on a Sunday late in the evening, so I'll let you guys run. Thank you, Ashton, and thank you, OpenxAI team, for organizing this wonderful event. Just a couple of words to the participants, whoever participated in it, whether you made it to the top 7 or whether you won the contest to a certain extent. What you've done today is you've taken the first step. Well, I've been in the industry, in the product industry, for about 20 years now. Sharing a thought with you guys, the easiest thing to do in the past was to have an idea, and the most difficult thing was to make it happen. With what OpenxAI have done now, they've actually made it so easy to make it happen. Any new idea, to bring it to life, is now the bottleneck is back on having a great idea. And you guys have actually taken the first 2 steps. Fantastic. Congratulations to everybody and keep up the fantastic work. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, Guru. Thank you, Ashton. And yeah, thank you to everyone, all the judges and all the projects and all the people watching on our live streams. Massive thank you to supporting the community. Make sure you join through our website, all of our social channels, our Telegrams, our Discords. Make sure you be a part of OpenxAI community going forward and support the ecosystem and all the projects building on top. And with that, that is all I'm concluding with today. And thank you so much for being a part of this HackNode Australia by OpenxAI. Thank you very much, all.